The railroad problem is also difficult because Latin America is not generally industrialized. Construction material and railway equipment must be imported, even to the smallest parts for locomotives. But there are also economic difficulties. In most regions of Latin America, there have not been enough passengers and goods in the interior to support expensive railroad construction. You can travel for miles and never see a house or a human being. Such an electric train as this, the only one in Mexico, is an extraordinary sight in a leisurely land. It is interesting that the only place where the railroad has proved really profitable is in an area long neglected by the explorers, whose minds were on the legends of El Dorado, and that is on the plains of Argentina. Here the British have invested more than $1 billion in an efficient, widespread railroad system originally constructed to bring the products of the Pampas to Buenos Aires so that they might be shipped abroad. And the domestic advantage to Argentina of this railway system has been enormous. To this impressive picture there is another side, spectacular but distressing. Where the Argentine railways cross to Chile, they lie forever in the path of the avalanche. Here tons of snow and rocks have torn down the Chilean side of the pass, burying tracks and houses. This means weeks of labor by diggers and snowplows before the track can be restored to its previous condition and the trains can again take up their schedule. But there are still places the railroad cannot go, and others where the countries cannot afford to build them. In such regions, highways are being built, and automobiles, buses, and trucks are extending the transport system. This is the way in which one of the greatest transportation schemes of all time is slowly forming, the Pan-American Highway. When completed, it will be the longest continuous highway in the world, running from Alaska to Cape Horn. It is not yet finished. The work is slow and expensive. The road must follow mountain trails, which are all that remain of the great Inca Highway, and must skirt marshes and break through jungles and cross rivers in flood time. In addition, each country along the path of the road is working to bring its own internal system of roads up to join the great artery, to bring its own people within easier reach of their neighbors. Latin Americans love to travel. For the wealthy person, travel by plane, Pullman, or his own expensive car is no novelty. But for the poor, highway travel is new and exciting, and buses are places for the sort of comradeship they so deeply enjoy. Men, women, children, and bundles, cheerfully bent on going somewhere, anywhere, in a spirit of good humor and high adventure. roads they travel are not always dusty. During the rainy season, they are often flooded, and the cars must ford streams. In addition to this complex problem of transportation, there is the further problem of rapid transit between Latin America and the United States. Railroad connections between North and South America do not exist, and perhaps never will be built. Ships are slow. Even fast steamers take more than 2 weeks to make the journey between northern and southern ports. A quicker way, a way that leaps all these hurdles of time and space, may be for Latin America the only way. Fortunately, Latin America is air-minded, perhaps more than we are. We have so many other methods of transportation that we see the airplane as only one more step in a great system. But Latin America sees it as the immediate answer to its transportation problem, a great network to link its countries together and itself to the rest of the world. There are two main uses for the airplane in Latin America. It is a super explorer, winging across mountains and jungles to seek out new sites for mines and oil camps, and to carry engineers and officials, as well as mail and freight, to remote posts. Regular airliners have also been developed in South America as common carriers in uncommon form. Each year has seen the number of passengers and the quantity of freight and mail rise tremendously. In every country, the great airway systems have been enthusiastically welcomed. North American enterprise has provided added scope for Latin American ingenuity and manpower. Native workers and engineers have been trained as pilots and mechanics, building airfields and hangars and servicing planes. Local airlines, independent of foreign capital, are springing up everywhere. We had 100 years of struggle with transportation. The covered wagon, the riverboat, the railroad, the automobile, and now the plane. But with the technical knowledge now available to her, and with her extraordinary dream of the future, Latin America may well hurdle all the old obstacles and learn to travel and to carry her burdens over the new road south by air.